Hey cleaning mystery fans! Today's video takes a spooky twist. Get ready for a chilling short story that's bound to send shivers down your spine. Grab your popcorn and let's dive in. It was late when I left the office, much later than I had planned. The streets were quieter than usual, the kind of quiet that presses down on you and makes every little sound seem louder. My car had been acting up earlier that week, so I decided to walk the mile back to my apartment. It wasn't far, and I told myself the fresh air would do me good. The night was cool, and the only light came from the occasional street lamp. The path I took was a shortcut, a narrow, tree-lined sidewalk that cut through a small park. It was the quickest way home, but it always felt a little eerie at night. The trees cast long shadows that seemed to shift and move, even though there was no wind. I tried to focus on the rhythm of my steps, the steady click of my heels against the pavement. But then I heard it, another set of footsteps. They were faint but distinct, echoing softly behind me. I slowed my pace, and the sound slowed too. My heart began to pound in my chest. It's nothing, I told myself. Maybe someone else was walking home just like me. Still, I couldn't shake the unease. I glanced over my shoulder, but the path behind me was empty, just shadows stretching endlessly into the dark. I picked up my pace, my footsteps quick and sharp, but the other steps followed, louder now, matching my rhythm. My breathing grew shallow and my hands clenched into fists. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling despite my effort to sound confident. Silence. I stopped, turning fully to face the path behind me. The shadows seemed to ripple as though something had just moved out of sight, but I couldn't see anyone. Shaking my head, I tried to laugh it off. Maybe it was just my imagination, the product of a long day and too much caffeine. I continued walking, but the sense of being watched only grew stronger. The shadows felt thicker now, pressing in on me from all sides. Then I saw it, movement. Just at the edge of my vision, a figure darting behind one of those trees. I froze, every muscle in my body seemed tense. My phone was in my pocket, but my hands felt too stiff to reach for it. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, a trick of the light, but then the footsteps started again. Closer this time. My heart raced as I broke into a jog, my shoes slapping against the pavement. I could feel it now. Someone was following me. I reached the end of the park, where the path opened onto a residential street. Streetlights flickered here and there, their weak glow barely illuminating the cracked sidewalks. I paused to catch my breath, glancing back towards the park. There was nothing. The path was empty, still and quiet, as though no one had been there at all. I laughed nervously, trying to calm myself. Maybe I'd overreacted. Maybe it really had just been my imagination. That's when I noticed it. A shadow cast on the pavement in front of me. It wasn't mine. I turned sharply, my heart leaping into my throat. A man stood a few feet away, his face obscured by a hood, his hands shoved deep into his pockets. He didn't say anything. He didn't move. "Can I help you?" I asked, my voice trembling. The man tilted his head slightly, as though studying me. The silence stretched on, unbearable and suffocating. I backed away slowly, my hands fumbling for my phone. My fingers trembled as I tried to unlock it. The man took a step forward. That was all it took. I turned and ran, sprinting down the street as fast as I could. The sound of his footsteps followed, heavy and deliberate, closing the distance between us. I didn't look back. I couldn't. My lungs burned and my legs ached, but I kept going, darting around corners and through alleys, trying to lose him. Finally, I reached my apartment building. Fumbling with my keys as I threw myself through the door, I slammed it shut behind me, locking it with trembling hands. My chest heaved as I pressed my back against the door, listening. There was only silence. I peeked through the peephole, but the street outside was empty. No footsteps, no shadowy figure. I didn't sleep that night. Every creak, every gust of wind made me jump. The next morning, I left for work as usual, trying to convince myself that I imagined it all. But as I stepped onto the street, I saw something that made my blood run cold. A single, scuffed footprint, faint but unmistakable, just outside my door.
Thank you for joining us on this eerie adventure, The Cleaning Mystery fans. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more intriguing twists and turns. And if you have any story you want to share, please feel free to email us or leave it in the comments down below. We'd be more than happy to share it with everyone else. Until next time, and keep it clean and very mysterious.